Good morning, sixth graders. If you have not yet completed your do now, then do that now. Unpause when you are done. Okay, so remember, if you have done this, then you should have the do now already done. Tone is a feeling or attitude a reader gets when reading a text. An example of a tone of a text could be spooky, sad, joyful. Go ahead and come up with a few on your own. And then another word for conflict is just problem. Make sure that you just have problem written down. And you guys know that the four types are person versus person, self, society, and nature. Theme is a lesson or a moral, something you can take away from a story. So an example of a theme could never give up. Go ahead and try and think of a theme that we read in our passage yesterday. A theme that I could come up with was don't steal, because we see that boy stealing in the text. Or don't do something bad if you don't want to face the consequences. Sorry, the computer is not working right. There you go. So setting, remember, is the where and the when. Make sure you don't just have the where, but you also have the when. And then dialogue is when characters are talking to each other. Inner dialogue is when it's inside their head, but this just asks for a dialogue. So today our goal is I can finish annotating the Thank You Ma'am by Langston Hughes, demonstrating my understanding of literary elements and determining importance through my annotation. So we're going to finish that text today. Make sure that you look at the rubric again. I'm going to go through a couple things that we didn't do well. Follow along. Central idea stop and jots occur. So everyone right now go through and underline central idea stop and jots occur. A lot of us tried to annotate other things, but still forgot we should be doing those central idea stop and jots, a one sentence summary every few paragraphs. Remember, it says inappropriate frequency, so underline this too. Not after every paragraph, but still frequent enough throughout your text to reflect important events and ideas. Make sure you do that. Another thing a lot of us forgot was this one right here. So go ahead and underline this entire fourth one as I read it. Acknowledges and attempts to tackle unknown vocabulary words using context clues and word parts. So make sure that every single time you come across a word you don't know, you are circling it and then trying to define it. And then again, overall, we still have people that are highlighting or underlining almost everything. But just like that backpack or purse activity we did yesterday, you should be only determining importance, only highlighting those things that are important. Don't just underline everything as you read. And then again, make sure that you're doing everything we talked about. In our do now, you should have all this stuff annotated in what we read today. Follow along while I read. And also, flip the page and just, if you want to take a look, go through quickly and look at what a strong example of annotating looks like. We have tone, shout out to Dream Rivers for this. Theme, another theme. This is a plot part right here, following action. Found some character traits right here. Repetition even. Sorry, I'm very sorry. This is what strong annotations look like. Remember, your exit ticket today, again, is going to be the same rubric. When you finish annotating, you should be coming back to this to make sure you've done everything in this column to get a 5 out of 5. Follow along while I read. I will not be modeling anymore today. You should just be annotating those things on your own. I wanted a pair of blue suede shoes, said the boy. Well, you didn't have to snatch my pocketbook to get some suede shoes, said Mrs. Lucilla Bates Washington Jones. You could have asked me. Ma'am, the water dripping from his face, the boy looked at her. There was a long pause, a very long pause, after he had dried his face, and not knowing what else to do, dried it again. The boy turned around, wondering what next. The door was open. He could make a dash for it down the hall. He could run. The woman was sitting on the daybed. So let's see, is the boy going to make a run for it? You could have asked me. Oh, sorry. Paragraph 36. After a while, she said, I was young once, and I wanted things I could not get. There was another long pause. The boy's mouth opened. Then he frowned, but not knowing that he frowned. So pause. You should not be moving forward unless you have a lot of stuff annotated. Again, words you don't know, at least a couple, like one or two central idea stop and jots in here, and all those things like character traits, tone, theme, conflict, stuff like that. Unpause once you have annotated the heck out of paragraphs 32 through 37. All right, welcome back. The woman said, you thought I was going to say, I'm going to pick up again at 37. There was another long pause. The boy's mouth opened, then he frowned, but not knowing he frowned. The woman said, you thought I was going to say but, didn't you? You thought I was going to say, but I didn't go snatching people's pocketbooks. Well, I wasn't going to say that. Pause. Silence. I have done things too which I would not tell you, son. Neither tell God, if he didn't already know. So you sat down while I fix us something to eat. You might run that comb through your hair so you will look presentable. So actually right here, pause and make sure that you are making an inference, because she says that I've done things too that I wouldn't tell you. And she says, you thought I was going to say, but I didn't go snatching people's pocketbooks, but that's not what I'm saying. So make an inference about her and her past and things that she's done. And also you should be annotating a few other things. 41. In another corner of the room, behind a screen, was a gas plate and an icebox. Actually, from this point on, guys, I'm going to not have this up on the screen because I want to make sure that you are looking at something else as you go. Paragraph 41. In another, sorry, one second. Sorry, guys, my computer's being funky. Hold on one second. Awesome. Paragraph 41. In another corner of the room behind a screen was a gas plate and an icebox. Mrs. Jones got up and went behind the screen. The woman did not watch the boy to see if he was going to run now, nor did she watch her purse, which she left behind on her daybed. So again, make an inference here. This boy was just trying to steal her purse, but she brought him back to her house and she left the purse out on her bed and isn't even there to watch him. But the boy took care to sit on the far side of the room where he thought she could easily see him out of the corner of her eye if she wanted to. He did not trust the woman to not to trust him. He did not want to be mistrusted now. Do you need somebody to go to the store? Asked the boy. Maybe to get some milk or something? I don't believe I do, said the woman. Unless you want sweet milk yourself. I was going to make cocoa out of this canned milk I got here. That will be fine, said the boy. She heated some lima beans and ham that she had in the icebox, made the cocoa, and set the table. The woman did not ask the boy anything about where he lived or his folks or anything else that would embarrass him. Again, pause. You should be making inferences while you read in your annotations. It said that about where he lived, his parents, or anything else that would embarrass him. So what can you infer about his home life, his family, maybe his parents, based off of the fact that our author said anything else that would embarrass him? Instead, as they ate, she told him about her job in a hotel beauty shop that stayed open late, what the work was like, and how all kinds of women came in and out, blondes, redheads, and Spanish. Then she cut him a half of her 10-cent cake. Eat some more, son, she said. And pause. If you have not annotated a lot as we read, make sure you go back and do that now. Look at the do now. Make sure you've annotated for all of those things, on top of central idea and unknown vocabulary words. Paragraph 46. When they were finished eating, she got up and said, now here, take this $10 and buy yourself some blue suede shoes. And next time, do not make the mistake of latching onto my pocketbook nor nobody else's, because shoes come by devilish like that will burn your feet. I gotta get my rest now, but I wish you would behave yourself, son, from here on in. She led him down the hall to the front door and opened it. Good night. Behave yourself, boy, she said, looking out into the street. The boy wanted to say something else, other than, thank you, ma'am, to Miss Luella Bates Washington Jones. But he couldn't do so as he turned at the barren stoop and looked back at the large woman in the door. He barely managed to say, thank you, before he shut the door, and he never saw her again. So right now what I'm going to do is read through the annotation guide again, and you're going to go through and make sure you have done all of these things in order to get a 5 out of 5 on your exit ticket. The first one says, central idea stop and jots occur in appropriate frequency. So not after every paragraph, but still enough to reflect important ideas and events. Annotations reflect an understanding of literary elements. We've discussed this here, like inner dialogue, theme, tone, point of view, character traits, conflict, parts of a plot mountain, and how they're contributing to the text. Make sure you've annotated that. Then underlines and highlights determine importance. You didn't highlight everything, but not too little either. The fourth point acknowledges and attempts to tackle unknown vocabulary words and define them. So make sure you circle and define words you didn't know. And then lastly, text shows inferences. So make sure, kind of like I modeled at a certain point, that you're making inferences and predictions as you read. Go ahead, take out your reading book once you've done that.